The world you see around you is not as fixed and immovable as it may seem. It is fluid, ever-changing, and intricately tied to the words you speak. What you say, whether aloud or in the privacy of your mind, serves as the blueprint for the reality you experience. Words carry energy, intent, and creative power. They are the brushstrokes with which you paint the canvas of your life. Think about the words you use every day. Do you speak words of abundance, health, and joy? Or do you find yourself uttering phrases of lack, frustration, and fear? Most of us are unaware of the extraordinary power contained within the seemingly simple act of speaking. Every word we release carries the vibration of our innermost beliefs, and those beliefs manifest in our external world. Let me ask you this: if your words were seeds, what kind of garden would you be planting? Are you nurturing a flourishing paradise of opportunities, love, and success? Or are you sowing weeds of doubt, negativity, and limitation? It is not merely about positive thinking, though that plays a role. It is about conscious creation. When you speak, you are commanding the forces of the universe to align with your vision. Whether you say, "I am overwhelmed," or "I am calm and capable," the energy behind those words takes root and grows. This is why speaking with intention is so crucial. If you find yourself saying, "I can't do this," or "nothing ever works out for me," pause. Recognize that these words are shaping the experiences you will encounter. Instead, choose phrases that align with the life you want to create. Say, "I am capable. Everything is working out in my favor." The power of words does not stop at what you say to others. The most important conversations you will ever have are the ones you have with yourself. Your inner dialogue shapes your beliefs, and those beliefs define your actions. If you consistently tell yourself, "I am not good enough," you will unconsciously act in ways that confirm that belief. But if you begin to affirm, "I am deserving of all good things," your actions and circumstances will start to reflect that truth. Words are not just descriptive, they are prescriptive. They do not merely describe what is happening in your life, they prescribe what will happen next. When you say, "I am healthy," you are instructing your body to align with that truth. When you declare, "I am prosperous," you are signaling to the universe that abundance is your natural state. Understand that this power works both ways. Negative words are just as potent as positive ones. If you repeatedly say, "I am unlucky," do not be surprised when misfortune seems to follow you. Your words are like a magnet, drawing experiences that match their energy. But here is the beautiful part: you have the power to change your words at any moment. You can rewrite the script of your life simply by choosing to speak differently. Begin today. Speak words of gratitude, even for things that have not yet appeared. Say, "I am grateful for the opportunities flowing to me." Speak words of confidence, even if you do not feel confident yet. Declare, "I am capable and unstoppable." This practice is not about denying reality, but about reshaping it. When you align your words with the reality you wish to create, you set a powerful creative process in motion. Over time, you will find that your external circumstances begin to shift to match the truth of your spoken word. So I invite you to become more intentional with your words. Speak life into your dreams. Speak healing into your body. Speak abundance into your finances. And most importantly, speak love and kindness into your heart. Remember, your words shape your world. Choose them wisely, for they are the building blocks of your destiny. The next time you open your mouth to speak, let your words reflect the life you want to live. Speak with intention, speak with faith, and watch as the universe answers your call. There is a profound secret that can transform the way you create your reality. Speak as though it already is. This means using your words to affirm and embody the life you desire, not as a distant hope, but as a present truth. This is the essence of conscious creation, a powerful practice that bridges the gap between your dreams and your reality. When you speak as though your desires are already fulfilled, you are not lying to yourself or denying your current circumstances. Instead, you are aligning your inner world with the reality you want to experience. Words carry the energy of creation. When spoken with conviction and clarity, they shape the world around you. Imagine for a moment that your desires, whether they are for love, wealth, health, or happiness, are already yours. What would you say? How would you express yourself? Would you say, I hope one day I'll be happy, or I am filled with joy right now? The latter carries an energy of certainty and fulfillment, an energy that magnetizes your desires to you. Here lies the key. Your words are not just descriptions of your current life, they are declarations of the life you wish to live. When you say, I am abundant, even when your bank account might not reflect it, you are setting a powerful intention. You are training your mind and emotions to align with abundance, and this alignment begins to influence your actions, your decisions, and the opportunities that come your way. But why is this so effective? Because the subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It believes what it is repeatedly told. When you speak as though you already are what you desire to be, you reprogram your subconscious mind to accept this as your truth. Over time, this internal shift creates external results. Consider this: when you repeatedly say, I am successful, your mind begins to seek out evidence to support that statement. You become more confident, take bolder actions, and attract situations that align with success. On the other hand, you constantly say, I can't catch a break. Your mind will unconsciously find ways to validate that belief. Speaking as though it already is does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending problems don't exist. It means focusing your energy on solutions and possibilities rather than limitations. Instead of saying, I am struggling, you can say, I am overcoming every challenge with grace. Instead of saying, I am lonely, declare, I am surrounded by love. This practice requires faith in language, creates a shift in the beginning. It may feel strange or even untrue. The foundation of reality. But remember, you are not speaking about what you see right now. You are speaking into existence what you wish to see. Words are like seeds. They may not bloom immediately, but with consistent care, they grow into the life you desire. Here's a simple exercise to get started. Each morning, take a moment to declare your intentions for the day as though they are already fulfilled. Say things like, today, I am productive and at peace. Opportunities flow to me effortlessly. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. Then, carry this energy with you throughout the day. Remember, speaking as though it already is requires consistency and sincerity. Do not let doubt or fear undermine the power of your words. Trust the process even when results are not immediate. Just as a seed takes time to sprout, your words will take time to manifest. Your words shape your life. Speak as though you are already the person you want to become. Speak as though your dreams are already your reality. When you do, you align yourself with the energy of fulfillment, and the universe responds in kind. So today, speak boldly, speak confidently, and most importantly, speak as though it already is. Your future self is waiting to thank you. Your inner dialogue, the quiet, constant stream of thoughts that runs through your mind, holds immense power. It is the unseen force shaping your self-perception, guiding your decisions, and ultimately creating your reality. What you say to yourself in the privacy of your own mind matters more than you might realize. It is the foundation of your beliefs, the blueprint for your actions, and the key to unlocking your potential. Most of us go through life without paying much attention to our inner dialogue. We assume it is a natural part of our existence, something beyond our control. But the truth is, you can and must take charge of this internal conversation if you want to transform your life. Your inner dialogue is not a passive observer, it is an active participant in creating your reality. Ask yourself, how do you speak to yourself when you face challenges? Do you offer words of encouragement and support, or do you criticize and doubt yourself? Far too often, our inner dialogue becomes a harsh critic, pointing out flaws and amplifying fears. We tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or this is too hard for me. These thoughts may seem harmless, but they are not. They shape your self-image and limit what you believe is possible. The good news is that you have the power to change this narrative. You can consciously rewrite the script of your inner dialogue, replacing negativity with positivity, fear with confidence, and doubt with faith. This process is not about ignoring reality, but about choosing a perspective that empowers you rather than holds you back. Next, replace those negative thoughts with affirmations that align with the person you want to become. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never figure this out," replace it with, "I am capable of finding a solution." If you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am more than enough, just as I am." Your inner dialogue should be a source of encouragement and strength, like a trusted friend or mentor cheering you on. Speak to yourself with kindness, compassion, and belief. When you do, you create a mental environment where growth and success become inevitable. The power of inner dialogue goes beyond personal growth. It influences how you interact with the world. When you speak to yourself with confidence and positivity, you radiate that energy outward. People are drawn to your self-assuredness, and opportunities begin to align with your belief in yourself. It is important to note that changing your inner dialogue is not an overnight process. It requires patience and consistent effort. In the beginning, it may feel unnatural or forced, especially if you are accustomed to self-criticism. But with practice, positive self-talk will become your default mode of thinking. One powerful way to reinforce this habit is through visualization. Each day, take a few minutes to visualize yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself succeeding, thriving, and achieving your goals. As you visualize, speak affirmations to yourself that align with this vision. For example, say, "I am strong, confident, and capable. I attract success effortlessly." Remember, the power to create the life you desire begins within. Let your inner dialogue be your greatest ally, not your harshest critic. Nurture it, refine it, and watch as it shapes a reality that reflects the greatness within you. Speak to yourself with love, and the world will reflect that love back to you. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It whispers doubts into your mind, questions your abilities, and places obstacles in the path of your dreams. Yet, fear is not an immovable force. It is a choice, a perspective. Just as you choose to entertain fear, you can choose to let it go and replace it with something far more empowering: certainty. Certainty is not blind optimism or denial of reality. It is a deep, unshakable trust in yourself and the process of life. It is the knowing that no matter what happens, you are equipped to handle it, and that everything unfolds for your ultimate growth and good. Shifting from fear to certainty is not about ignoring challenges, but about reclaiming your power to face them with confidence and clarity. To solidify your shift from fear to certainty, anchor yourself in the present moment. Fear lies in the realm of what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? What if things don't work out? Certainty, on the other hand, resides in the now. When you focus on the present, you free yourself from the mental traps of worry and doubt. Engage in practices that ground you, such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling. These habits help quiet the mind and remind you of your inner strength. Another powerful tool is affirmations. Speak to yourself with conviction, declaring your certainty even before you fully feel it. Say, "I trust myself. I am capable. Everything I need is already within me." These words, repeated consistently, reprogram your subconscious mind to align with confidence rather than fear. Visualization is equally transformative. Close your eyes and imagine the life you desire. See yourself achieving your goals, thriving in your relationships, and overcoming challenges with grace. Visualize not just the outcome, but also the feelings of joy, fulfillment, and certainty that come with it. This mental rehearsal strengthens your belief in your ability to succeed, making fear irrelevant. Certainty also requires action. Fear often paralyzes, keeping you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and procrastination. Break this cycle by taking small, consistent steps toward your goals. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Each step you take reinforces the belief that you are capable and resilient. It's important to understand that fear may never disappear completely, and that's okay. The goal is not to eliminate fear, but to rise above it. Certainty is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. It is choosing to trust the process, even when the path ahead is unclear. Finally, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have. When you appreciate your strengths, your opportunities, and the progress you've made, fear loses its grip. Gratitude aligns you with abundance and reinforces your sense of certainty. Manifestation is not just a lofty idea, it is a process that, when applied with focus and belief, can bring profound changes into your life. The key is aligning your mind, emotions, and actions with the reality you desire. The 3-day formula for manifestation is a simple yet powerful method that helps you tap into your creative power and bring your goals into existence with intention and clarity. The first step in manifesting anything is to know exactly what you want. On day 1, take time to define your desire with precision. Be specific yet leave room for possibilities that exceed your expectations. For example, instead of saying, "I want more money," say, "I am so grateful to receive $10,000 in unexpected income." The clearer your intention, the easier it is for your mind to focus on it. Write your intention down as though it has already happened. Use present tense language and infuse it with emotion. For example, "I am now living in my dream home, surrounded by peace, beauty, and joy." Writing your desire anchors it into your consciousness and sets the tone for the days ahead. On this first day, visualize your intention vividly. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living in the reality you desire. See the details, feel the emotions, and experience the joy of already having it. This process strengthens your belief and aligns your subconscious mind with your goal. The second day is all about aligning your emotions with your desire. Manifestation doesn't come from thinking alone, it comes from feeling. You must embody the energy of already having what you seek. If your desire is financial abundance, feel the freedom and security it brings. If it's love, feel the warmth, connection, and joy of that relationship. Throughout day 2, act as if your manifestation is already a reality. Carry yourself with the confidence of someone who has achieved their goal. Smile, speak, and move as though your desire has come to fruition. This alignment between your thoughts, emotions, and actions creates a powerful magnetic field that attracts your desired outcome. If doubt or fear creeps in, acknowledge it but do not dwell on it. Remind yourself that your desire is already on its way. Repeat affirmations that reinforce your belief, such as, "I am worthy of all that I desire," or "Everything I need is aligning perfectly for me." The final step in the 3-day formula is releasing your desire with trust and taking inspired action. On day 3, stop obsessing over the how and when of your manifestation. Let go of the need to control the outcome and trust the process. This surrender is not about giving up, but about creating space for your desire to materialize. Use this day to focus on gratitude. Express appreciation for the things you already have and for the manifestation that is on its way. Gratitude raises your vibration and aligns you with abundance. Let's say, "Thank you for the opportunity to create this life. I am so grateful for all that is unfolding in my favor." Take inspired action toward your goal. This doesn't mean forcing things to happen, it means being open to opportunities and acting on intuitive nudges. For example, if your goal is a new job, update your resume, network, or apply for positions that resonate with you. If your desire is better health, make choices that align with your well-being. The 3-day formula for manifestation is not a magic trick, it is a disciplined practice of aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your desires. It is about believing in your ability to create, feeling the joy of your manifestation in advance, and trusting the process as it unfolds. Remember, the key to manifestation is consistency. Repeat this process whenever you feel called to bring something new into your life. Over time, you will notice that your ability to manifest grows stronger, and your desires begin to materialize with greater ease. As you follow this formula, hold on to this truth: the life you desire is not something distant or unattainable. It is already within you, waiting to be realized. Trust in your power, act with intention, and watch as the universe conspires to bring your dreams to life. 3 days is all it takes to begin the transformation. Start now and step into the life that is meant for you. Fulfillment is not something you chase, it's a state you embody. Living in the feeling of fulfillment means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions as if your desires have already been realized. It's about stepping into the version of yourself who has everything you long for. and allowing that energy to guide your reality. At the core of this concept is the understanding that reality is shaped by your inner world. What you feel internally, you attract externally. If you constantly focus on lack, thinking about what you don't have, you project that lack outward, and life mirrors it back to you. But if you cultivate the feeling of fulfillment within, the world around you begins to align with that vibration. Your imagination is the gateway to fulfillment. It's not just a tool for daydreaming, it's a creative force that shapes your life. To live in the feeling of fulfillment, spend time each day imagining your desired outcome as though it has already happened. Close your eyes and see yourself living your dream. Feel the joy, peace, and gratitude that come with it. For example, if your goal is to own a beautiful home, imagine walking through its halls, feeling the textures of the walls, and smelling the fresh air that fills the space. If you desire financial freedom, imagine the ease and confidence you'd feel checking your bank account, knowing there's more than enough. Make it real in your mind, and your emotions will follow. Living in the feeling of fulfillment requires you to embody the energy of someone who has already achieved their desires. This means carrying yourself with confidence, speaking words of abundance, and making decisions from a place of success. Ask yourself, how would I act, think, and feel if I already had what I want then? Align your behavior with that version of yourself. For instance, if your goal is to attract love, don't dwell in loneliness or self-doubt. Instead, embody the energy of someone who is deeply loved. Dress beautifully, treat yourself kindly, and radiate the confidence that comes with knowing you are worthy of love. This shift in energy draws your desires to you effortlessly. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to live in the feeling of fulfillment. When you are grateful, you affirm that you already have enough, which attracts more of what you desire. Start and end your day by listing things you're grateful for, both big and small. Include gratitude for the things you're manifesting, as if they're already part of your life. For example, say, I am so thankful for the abundance that flows to me effortlessly. I am grateful for the love, opportunities, and joy that fill my life. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance and reinforces the feeling of fulfillment. Living in fulfillment requires faith. Doubt, fear, and impatience create resistance, blocking the flow of your manifestations. Trust the process and let go of the need to control every detail. Know that what you seek is already seeking you and will arrive in divine timing. When doubts arise, replace them with affirmations of certainty. Say to yourself, everything is unfolding perfectly for me. My desires are already mine, and I am open to receiving them. This mindset dissolves resistance and strengthens your connection to the feeling of fulfillment. While living in the feeling of fulfillment starts within, it's also important to take inspired action. These are actions that align with your vision and come from a place of excitement and intuition, not fear or desperation. If your goal is to start a new career, begin networking or developing the skills you'll need. If you want to improve your health, take small, consistent steps like eating nutritious meals or exercising. Inspired action bridges the gap between the inner and outer worlds, reinforcing your belief in the reality you are creating. Fulfillment doesn't depend on what your physical senses can perceive right now. It's about trusting that the unseen forces of the universe are working in your favor. Even if there's no immediate evidence of your desires manifesting, hold on to the feeling that they are already yours. This unwavering faith keeps you aligned with your vision. Remember this truth: you don't have to wait for fulfillment, it is available to you now. Feel it, embody it, and trust it. As you do, you will see your inner state reflected in your outer world. Fulfillment is not a destination, it's a way of being. Choose to live it today, and watch as your life transforms in ways beyond your imagination. Beloved listener, let us journey into the sacred art of manifestation. Many have sought the answer to a simple yet profound question: how can I bring my desires to fruition quickly? The answer lies not in labor, nor in the approval of the world around you, but in the quiet, powerful workings of your inner world. The understanding that you are the creator of your reality is one of the most transformative realizations a person can have. It shifts you from feeling like a passive participant in life to recognizing your immense power as the architect of your experience. Life is not something that happens to you, it is something that unfolds through you. Every thought, feeling, and belief within you is a seed, and the reality you perceive is the harvest of those seeds. This principle is not just a comforting notion, it is the foundation of the creative process that governs the universe. Everything begins in the mind. The reality you experience is a reflection of the state of consciousness you occupy. If you look around and see lack, struggle, or discord, it is because, at some level, those elements exist within you. Similarly, if you observe abundance, joy, and harmony, it is because you have cultivated those states internally. The external world acts as a mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you the contents of your inner world. This is not a matter of blame but of empowerment. When you understand that you are the source of your reality, you also realize that you have the power to change it. Imagination is the key to creation. It is the divine faculty through which all things are made. Consider the great achievements of humankind, the towering skyscrapers, the intricate works of art, the breakthroughs in science and technology. Each began as a vision in someone's mind. Before they were tangible realities, they existed as ideas, nurtured and believed in until they took form. You have access to this same creative power. Your imagination is not a mere tool for idle daydreaming, it is the workshop of creation, the place where you shape the world to your liking. Alone is not enough. For your creative power to take effect, you must marry your thoughts with emotion. It is not enough to think of what you want, you must feel it. Feelings are the language of the subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious that drives your reality. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you align yourself with its vibration. In that alignment, the universe moves to bring your desire into being. The feeling is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the intangible and the tangible. Doubt and fear are the greatest obstacles to this process. When you allow these feelings to dominate your mind, you create resistance. It is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to see if it has grown. Trust is essential. Trust that the process works, trust that your desires are valid, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. This trust is not passive, it is an active state of faith, a confident knowing that what you have imagined is already on its way to you. The circumstances of your life, no matter how fixed they may seem, are not permanent. They are but the outpicturing of your past states of mind. If you do not like what you see, you have the power to change it. Change begins within. Instead of focusing on what is, turn your attention to what could be. Instead of dwelling on lack, cultivate a sense of abundance. Instead of worrying about the future, nurture feelings of peace and confidence. This is not escapism, it is the deliberate act of creating a new reality. One of the most empowering aspects of this truth is that it works universally and without exception. It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or what your current circumstances are. The laws of creation apply equally to all. The same process that brings wealth to one person can bring it to another. The same principles that foster love in one life can foster it in yours. The universe is impartial, responding not to your status or past actions, but to the vibration you emit in the present moment. Responsibility is a crucial part of this understanding. To accept that you are the creator of your reality is to take full responsibility for your life. This does not mean blaming yourself for every hardship, but recognizing that you hold the power to respond and transform. Even in situations that seem beyond your control, you have the ability to choose how you perceive and react to them. This choice is your power. When you respond with faith, hope, and creativity, you shift the energy around you, opening the door to new possibilities. There are no limits to what you can create, except those you impose upon yourself. Often, people believe they are bound by their circumstances, their upbringing, or their perceived weaknesses. But these are illusions. The only true limitation is the one you accept as real. When you release these false beliefs and step into the awareness of your creative power, the world opens up to you. You are not here to live a life of mediocrity or struggle. You are here to express the fullness of your being, to create, to thrive, and to experience the joy of bringing your visions to life. The journey of creation is one of self-discovery. As you become more conscious of your thoughts and feelings, you gain insight into who you truly are. You begin to see that your essence is not separate from the source of creation itself. You are not a small, powerless being adrift in a chaotic world. You are a spark of the divine, endowed with the ability to shape reality through the power of your mind and heart. To know that you are the creator of your reality is to awaken to your true potential. It is to step out of the role of victim and into the role of master. Life will always present challenges, but when you understand your creative power, you face them with confidence, knowing that you have the ability to transform any situation. This truth is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. Embrace it, live it, and watch as the world transforms before your very eyes. To manifest the life you desire, there is a profound yet simple principle you must understand. You must feel as if your desire is already fulfilled. The essence of creation lies not in the act of longing or hoping, but in embodying the state of having. This principle transcends mere wishful thinking. It is the deliberate act of aligning your inner world with the reality you wish to experience. In doing so, you shift your vibration, drawing your desires into your life effortlessly and naturally. The act of feeling it as if it's already done requires you to bypass the physical senses. What your eyes see, your ears hear, and your hands touch are reflections of your past assumptions. They are not the arbiters of what is possible. If you rely solely on your senses to validate your desires, you will remain trapped in the loop of what already exists. Instead, you must turn inward, using your imagination and emotions to construct a new reality. Imagination is the gateway to creation. When you visualize your desire, do so with vivid clarity. See yourself living in the house you desire, driving the car you dream of, or experiencing the love you long for. But do not stop at the visual. Feel the joy, the excitement, the peace that comes with having it. Engage all your senses in this inner experience. If it is a home you want, imagine walking through its rooms, feeling the texture of the furniture, and hearing the sounds of the space. Make it real within you, for this inner reality is the seed of your outer reality. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious that holds the power to shape your life. Words alone carry little weight if they are not accompanied by feeling. To say, "I am wealthy," while feeling poor, is to send conflicting signals to your subconscious. It is the feeling behind the words that determines the outcome. When you genuinely feel as if you are already wealthy, your subconscious accepts this as truth and works tirelessly to bring it into manifestation. This process requires a deep trust in the unseen. The physical world may show no immediate evidence of your desires, but this is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the seed is germinating. Trust that your inner work is creating shifts in the unseen realms. The moment you feel your desire as real, it begins to take form. The time it takes to materialize depends on your persistence and faith in the process. Many struggle with this principle because they allow doubt and fear to creep in. They look around and see the absence of what they want, and their faith wavers. To feel it as if it's already done, you must train yourself to focus on the inner reality rather than the outer circumstances. This requires discipline and a willingness to step beyond the limitations of the senses. It is not denial of the current reality, but a conscious choice to dwell in the reality you are creating. One of the most powerful tools for feeling it as if it's already done is gratitude. Gratitude is a state of acknowledgement and appreciation, and it is one of the highest vibrations you can emit. When you feel grateful for something, you affirm its presence in your life. Even if it has not yet materialized in the physical world, expressing gratitude for it, as if it has already arrived, signals to the universe that you are aligned with its fulfillment. This state of gratitude opens the floodgates for your desires to flow into your experience. Another aspect of this principle is detachment. To feel as if it's already done means to release the need for it to happen. Neediness creates resistance, for it comes from a place of lack. When you need something, you are affirming its absence. But when you feel as if it's already done, you enter a state of wholeness and completeness. You no longer chase or cling to your desire, because you know it is already yours. This state of detachment allows the universe to bring your desire to you in the most harmonious and effortless way. The act of feeling it as if it's already done is not confined to specific moments of meditation or visualization. It is a way of being. Throughout your day, carry the feeling of fulfillment with you. Act as if your desire has already been realized. Speak, think, and behave as the person who already has what they want. This consistent embodiment reinforces the vibration of your desire and speeds up its manifestation. It is also essential to recognize that the process of feeling it as if it's already done is not a one-time event. It is a practice. Each time you consciously generate the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen the connection between your inner and outer realities. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you will find yourself manifesting with greater ease and speed. When you truly feel as if your desire is already done, you eliminate all doubt. You no longer question whether it will happen because in your mind and heart, it already has. This certainty is the hallmark of a master manifester. It is not arrogance but a quiet confidence born from the understanding of universal laws. The principle of feeling it as if it's already done is a call to take control of your inner world. It is an invitation to step into the role of creator and to trust in the power of your imagination and emotions. As you practice this principle, you will come to see that the external world is but a shadow of your inner state. When you align with the feeling of your desire fulfilled, the world will shift to reflect it. You will discover that there is no limit to what you can create when you live in the knowing that it is already done. The power of intention and clarity is the foundation upon which all creation rests. Intention is the conscious choice to bring something into existence, while clarity provides the focused vision that directs your energy toward its fulfillment. Together, these elements serve as a blueprint for manifesting the life you desire. Without intention, you drift aimlessly, reacting to life rather than creating it. Without clarity, your efforts scatter in multiple directions, failing to gain the momentum necessary to bring about transformation. When intention and clarity unite, they form an unstoppable force, aligning your inner world with the infinite potential of the universe. Everything begins with intention. It is the seed from which all possibilities grow. Intention is not merely wishing or hoping, it is a deliberate act of will. It is the declaration that you are committed to bringing forth a specific outcome. When you set an intention, you send a clear message to the universe and to your subconscious mind. This message serves as a directive, activating the forces of creation to move in your favor. But for intention to work its magic, it must be genuine and focused. A vague or half-hearted intention lacks the energy to inspire action and attract the resources needed to manifest your desires. Clarity amplifies the power of intention by giving it direction. Imagine a beam of light scattered in all directions. Its impact is minimal. Now imagine that same beam concentrated into a laser. It becomes powerful enough to cut through steel. This is the difference clarity makes. When you are clear about what you want, you eliminate doubt and confusion. Your energy becomes concentrated, and your actions align effortlessly with your goals. Clarity is the anchor that keeps you steady, even when challenges arise. It allows you to see past distractions and remain focused on your ultimate destination. The process of gaining clarity begins with self-reflection. What is it that you truly desire? Not what society tells you to want or what others expect of you, but what resonates deeply with your heart and soul. To find this answer, you must look within, stripping away the noise of the external world. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? What fulfills me? What aligns with my highest purpose? The answers to these questions form the foundation of your intentions. Clarity comes when your desires are authentic, rooted in who you are rather than who you think you should be. Once you have set a clear intention, the next step is to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with it. This alignment creates coherence between your inner and outer worlds, making the manifestation process seamless. Your thoughts should consistently reflect the reality you wish to create. Your feelings should embody the emotions associated with its fulfillment: joy, gratitude, excitement, or peace. Finally, your actions should mirror your commitment to your intention. Even small, consistent steps in the direction of your goal signal to the universe that you are serious about your desire. It is essential to trust the process and remain patient. Intention and clarity are not magic wands that deliver instant results. They are guiding forces that unfold your desires in divine timing. Often people set an intention and expect immediate evidence of its manifestation. When results do not appear right away, they become discouraged and abandon their goal. This is where faith and persistence come into play. Trust that your intention has been heard and that the universe is orchestrating events to bring it to fruition. Remain steadfast, knowing that clarity and focus will eventually bear fruit. A crucial aspect of intention is detachment. While it is important to be clear and passionate about your desires, you must also let go of the need to control how and when they will manifest. Attachment creates resistance as it stems from a place of lack and fear. Detachment, on the other hand, signals confidence and trust. When you release your grip on the outcome, you allow the universe to work its magic in ways you may not have anticipated. Often the results will exceed your expectations, arriving in forms more perfect than you could have imagined. Clarity also involves understanding the deeper why behind your intention. Why do you want what you desire? What is the purpose it serves in your life? When you connect with the underlying reason for your intention, you infuse it with greater meaning and power. For example, the intention to manifest financial abundance becomes more potent when tied to a purpose, such as providing for your family, contributing to a cause, or experiencing greater freedom. This deeper why keeps you motivated and aligned, even in the face of challenges. The power of intention and clarity is not limited to personal goals. It can also be applied to broader aspects of life. Whether you seek improved relationships, better health, or a deeper spiritual connection, the process remains the same. Set a clear intention, align with it wholeheartedly, and trust in its fulfillment. When you live with intention, every moment becomes purposeful. Clarity allows you to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are moving toward a future of your own design. The combination of intention and clarity is transformative. It empowers you to take control of your life and step into the role of creator. No longer are you at the mercy of external circumstances. You become the architect of your destiny. With intention as your compass and clarity as your guide, you chart a path toward a life that reflects your highest aspirations. This is the essence of living with purpose, and it is a gift available to all who choose to claim it. It is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood principles in the process of manifesting your desires. To many, detachment might sound like indifference or a lack of commitment, but in reality, it is the key to unlocking the speed and ease with which your desires can come to fruition. When you master the art of detachment, you free yourself from the resistance, fear, and doubt that often hinder manifestation. Detachment does not mean giving up on what you want. It means releasing the need to control how and when it will arrive, trusting that the process is unfolding perfectly in its own time. At the core of detachment is the understanding that clinging to an outcome stems from a sense of lack. When you feel an intense need for something to happen, you are energetically affirming its absence. This state of neediness creates resistance, as it signals to your subconscious mind and the universe that you do not believe your desire is already yours. The energy of lack and desperation slows down the process, making your desire seem further away than it truly is. Detachment, on the other hand, signals confidence and trust. It declares that you know your desire is already on its way and that you are at peace, regardless of the timing or the means of its arrival. When you are detached, you remain emotionally balanced. Your happiness and sense of fulfillment are not dependent on whether your desire manifests in the exact way you imagined. This emotional equilibrium is a powerful state because it aligns you with the flow of life. Instead of forcing outcomes, you allow them to unfold naturally. The universe operates in harmony with your energy, responding to the clarity of your intention and the ease of your detachment. In this state, you become a magnet for your desires, as there is no resistance blocking their manifestation. Detachment also frees you from the need to micromanage the process. Often people become fixated on how their desire will come to pass. They try to control every detail, thinking that by doing so, they can ensure its success. However, this approach often backfires, as it limits the infinite ways in which the universe can bring your desire to you. When you detach, you open yourself to possibilities beyond your imagination. You trust that the universe is infinitely resourceful, and that it knows the best and most efficient way to fulfill your intention. One of the most liberating aspects of detachment is the release of time-related anxiety. When you are attached to a specific timeline, you constantly check for evidence of progress, and any perceived delay can lead to frustration and doubt. This impatience creates a vibration of resistance, which only slows down the process further. Detachment allows you to let go of the need for immediate results, knowing that everything is happening in perfect timing. Paradoxically, when you stop obsessing over how quickly your desire will manifest, it often happens much faster. Detachment also fosters a deeper connection with your inner self. When you are attached to an outcome, your focus is external. You look to the outer world for validation and confirmation that your desire is on its way. This outward focus can disconnect you from the true source of your power, which lies within. Detachment brings your attention back to your inner state, where you cultivate the feelings of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment that align with your desire. This inner alignment is what ultimately creates your external reality. A practical way to practice detachment is to shift your focus from the how and when to the what and why. Be clear about what you want and why it matters to you, but let go of the specifics of how it will happen or when it will arrive. Trust that the universe is orchestrating events in your favor, and that your role is simply to stay aligned with the vibration of your desire. Focus on enjoying the present moment, knowing that your desire is already making its way to you. Gratitude is another powerful tool for cultivating detachment. When you express gratitude for what you already have and for what is coming, you affirm that you are in a state of abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to fulfillment, reinforcing the belief that you are already complete. This sense of completeness dissolves the neediness and attachment that can block your manifestations. Gratitude allows you to embrace the present moment while confidently anticipating the blessings of the future. Detachment also requires a level of faith and trust in the process. It is the belief that you are supported by a loving and intelligent universe that always has your best interests at heart. When you trust the process, you no longer feel the need to control every aspect of it. You understand that sometimes what appears to be a delay or a detour is actually a necessary part of the journey. Trusting the process allows you to relax and enjoy the unfolding of your desires, knowing that everything is working out for your highest good. Detachment is about surrendering control while maintaining faith and focus. It is the balance between intention and trust, between desire and contentment. When you master detachment, you align yourself with the natural flow of creation, allowing your desires to manifest with ease and speed. You become a co-creator with the universe, working in harmony with its infinite wisdom and abundance. Detachment is not about giving up, it is about letting go of resistance and stepping into the effortless flow of life, where all things are possible. Revision can alter your path in profound and transformative ways, reshaping not only your external reality but also your internal landscape. In the process of manifestation, revision is the powerful tool that allows you to change your perception of past events, thus altering the future. Many people believe that their past defines them, that the experiences they've lived through shape who they are and what they can become. However, revision offers a liberating truth: the past is not fixed, and by changing the way you view it, you can change the course of your life. Revision begins with the understanding that time is not linear. Our perception of time is rooted in the present moment, and what we recall about the past is filtered through the lens of our current beliefs and emotions. In essence, the past exists only in our minds, and how we choose to remember it directly influences how we experience our present and future. By revising our memories, we reshape the very framework within which we live, allowing new opportunities and realities to emerge. The process of revision starts with the realization that the power to change your reality is within you. You do not need to wait for external circumstances to shift. The key lies in changing the way you feel about the past. When you alter your thoughts and emotions related to past events, you release their hold on your current life. The past no longer has the power to limit your possibilities because you have rewritten it in a way that empowers you rather than diminishing you. One of the most effective ways to revise your past is by using the power of imagination. Imagination is not merely a fantasy or daydream, it is the creative force that shapes your experience of life. Through imagination, you can mentally reconstruct events, conversations, and situations, infusing them with the emotions and outcomes you desire. For example, if you've experienced a setback or failure, you can revise the memory to reflect a positive outcome. Instead of remembering a moment of disappointment, you can imagine that everything unfolded perfectly, that the people involved reacted in a way that supported your success, and that the situation ultimately led you to a better path. By revising the past in this way, you begin to free yourself from the emotional baggage that might have been holding you back. Every time you mentally replay a revised version of an event, you are conditioning your subconscious mind to accept it as your new truth. The more you practice this revision, the more powerful the new reality becomes. You start to believe that success and fulfillment are your natural states, not something you must struggle to achieve. This process of revision can be applied not only to past events but also to relationships, self-image, and future goals. If there are aspects of your life where you feel disempowered, you can revise those areas to reflect strength, confidence, and abundance. If you face challenges in relationships, whether with family, friends, or romantic partners, you can revise those interactions to reflect love, understanding, and harmony. In doing so, you are sending a clear message to your subconscious mind that this new reality is the one you are creating. Another crucial aspect of revision is the emotional component. Emotions are the energy that drives manifestation. The energy behind your thoughts dictates the speed and effectiveness with which you manifest your desires. If your past is filled with negative emotions, such as regret, guilt, or anger, those emotions continue to influence your present state. Revision allows you to replace these lower vibrational emotions with feelings of joy, love, and gratitude. When you revise an event and feel the positive emotions associated with it, you shift your energy and vibration. This shift creates an environment where new, more aligned experiences can manifest. Revision also has the power to release the past's grip on your sense of identity. People often define themselves by their past, by the mistakes they've made, the failures they've encountered, or the challenges they've faced. But when you revise these experiences, you remove the labels that have been attached to you. You no longer see yourself as someone defined by past mistakes or limitations. Instead, you see yourself as the empowered creator of your own reality. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are free to choose who you want to be moving forward. Revision offers the freedom to reshape your future. Since your past and present are deeply interconnected, changing your past changes your present and, by extension, your future. If you change the way you feel about past obstacles, failures, or limitations, you create a new trajectory for your life. You begin to see new possibilities, ones that were once hidden beneath the weight of past beliefs. The revised version of your past becomes the foundation for a future built on success, abundance, and happiness. It is important to note that revision is not about ignoring or denying your past experiences. It is not about pretending that negative things didn't happen or that challenges didn't exist. It is about shifting the meaning you attach to those experiences. When you revise, you are not erasing the past, you are changing your perception of it. You are choosing to see every event as an opportunity for growth, every obstacle as a stepping stone to greater success. You are acknowledging that everything in your life has brought you to this moment, and that you now have the power to change the course of your future. The beauty of revision is that it is always available to you. No matter what has happened in your life, you can begin the process of rewriting it at any time. Every moment presents a fresh opportunity to change your mind, to revise your story, and to create a new path forward. The key to manifestation is not simply wishing for change, it is actively participating in the creation of your reality by revising your past, revising your beliefs, and revising your perceptions. In doing so, you step into your power as the creator of your life, knowing that the path ahead is always within your control. Persistence is the key that unlocks the door to your deepest desires. It is the unwavering belief in your vision, the constant effort, and the firm conviction that no matter how long it takes, your desire will eventually manifest. It's the understanding that the process of creation doesn't always happen instantly, but that persistence, combined with faith, will eventually make your vision solidify into reality. When you persist, you are engaging in a powerful act of creation, shifting your inner world so that your outer world must align with it. Your desire, when persistently held in your mind, must harden into reality, as the law of manifestation dictates. In manifestation is not about forcing the universe to deliver or trying to bend reality to your will. Instead, it's about aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions so that they are in harmony with the desire you wish to bring into existence. It's about holding on to your vision with steady faith, regardless of external circumstances. When you persist, you build momentum. Just as a seed planted in the earth eventually pushes through the soil after enduring the right conditions, your desire will break through into the physical realm once the right conditions, belief, emotion, and persistence are maintained. The most important part of persistence is the mental and emotional consistency that you maintain. Your thoughts and feelings are the building blocks of your reality. They are the forces that shape your experience, creating an energetic match for your desires. The act of persisting is an act of aligning your energy to the feeling of already having what you want. When you persist in maintaining this alignment, it doesn't matter what you see in the external world. What matters is the faith you continue to hold, knowing that the energy you have invested in your desire is making it more real every day. Persistence in manifestation requires unwavering belief. Doubt and uncertainty have the power to undo all the progress you've made. The universe is neutral, it simply reflects what you put out into the world. So when you persist, you must also guard your thoughts. You cannot allow the outside world to sway your belief. What you focus on expands. By persisting in holding the image of your desired reality, you allow that vision to imprint upon your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious is fully aligned with your desire, it begins to reshape your external world to match that vision. This persistence is not about exerting force or willpower. It is about a deep, quiet certainty that your desire is already yours. The key is in continuing to hold that belief, even when the evidence of its manifestation is not yet visible. The world may not instantly reflect your thoughts, but by consistently and persistently holding the vibration of your desire, you align yourself with the frequency that will eventually cause it to materialize. An essential part of persistence is not wavering when things don't appear to be going as expected. The delay or seeming absence of your desire is not a signal to give up. It is an opportunity for you to deepen your belief and trust in the process. Understand that reality is malleable, and what appears to be an obstacle or delay is simply the universe rearranging things behind the scenes. When you persist, you give the universe the space and time it needs to align everything in perfect order for your manifestation to unfold. The more you persist, the more the universe responds, as it begins to solidify the outcome you've been visualizing and feeling. Manifestation is an energetic process, and persistence means continuing to nurture that energy. It's about cultivating an emotional state that is in harmony with your desired outcome. When you hold on to your vision and consistently embody the feelings of having already achieved it, the law of attraction kicks into action. The emotional energy you put out, coupled with your mental focus, creates the conditions for your desire to materialize. This doesn't mean that everything will come immediately, but it does mean that your persistence ensures that the process is moving forward, whether you can see it or not. Persistence also requires you to take inspired action. While you don't need to force things into being, the universe does respond to action that aligns with your desire. When you take action with faith, knowing that you are walking in the direction of your dream, the universe will start to open doors and provide opportunities that align with your vision. Persistence in this sense is about staying engaged with your desire while being open to the flow of opportunities and possibilities that come your way. Another crucial element of persistence is the mental discipline to shut out negative influences. This means not listening to the voices of doubt or skepticism, whether from others or your own mind. The energy of doubt interferes with the process of manifestation, as it sends conflicting signals to the universe. When you persist, you cultivate the inner strength to ignore distractions, criticism, and fear. You stay focused on your vision, no matter what the outside world tells you. You also need to practice patience as part of persistence. The process of manifestation often takes time, and even though you may feel that your desire is not appearing quickly enough, your persistence in holding the vision is what is slowly creating the conditions for it to come into being. Understand that the universe is working on your behalf, aligning people, situations, and opportunities to bring you exactly what you've asked for. While you may not see the immediate results, persistence requires you to trust in the unfolding process. Persistence is not about forcing results or obsessing over the outcome. It's about maintaining a steady belief, a consistent alignment with your desire, and an unwavering trust in the process. When you persist, you are sending a message to the universe that you believe in your desire and that you will not be swayed by external circumstances. The more you persist, the more your desire becomes an undeniable reality, eventually solidifying into the physical world. As you continue, you will witness the transformation, as your thoughts, emotions, and actions all come together to create the life you've been visualizing. It is this persistence, this continual nurturing of your vision, that ensures that your desire will harden into reality, just as the seed eventually blossoms into the full manifestation of its potential. In conclusion, the journey of manifestation is one of deep faith, persistent effort, and unwavering belief. It is a process where the mind, emotions, and actions work in unison to create the reality you desire. From the power of intention and clarity to the practice of revision and detachment, each element plays a crucial role in shaping your world. The key is to remain persistent, knowing that your desires are already on their way and that the universe is always working behind the scenes to align everything in perfect timing. But keep nurturing your vision, remain consistent in your efforts, and trust the process, for in doing so, your reality will inevitably transform. Thank you for joining me today. May your journey of manifestation be filled with unwavering belief, inspired action, and the joy of seeing your dreams unfold into reality. My friends, as we step into 2025, I invite you to embrace a revolutionary truth. The most important work you will ever do is the work you do on yourself. This year is not for chasing others, seeking approval, or scattering your energy in countless directions. This is the year you turn inward and reclaim your power. The idea that your inner world shapes your outer world is not just a philosophical concept, but a profound truth that governs every aspect of life. It is a principle rooted in the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions create the reality you experience. Life is not something that happens to you, it is a projection of what happens within you. To grasp this is to step into your true power as the architect of your destiny. Consider for a moment the mind as a garden. Every thought is a seed, every belief a root, and every emotion the water that nourishes the soil. What grows in this garden depends entirely on what you cultivate. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation, your outer world will reflect scarcity, conflict, and frustration. But if you sow seeds of love, confidence, and abundance, you will experience a life that mirrors those qualities. This is not a matter of mere positive thinking, but a deliberate practice of aligning your inner state with the reality you wish to create. Your mind operates as a powerful magnet, attracting circumstances, people, and opportunities that match the energy you emit. When your thoughts are dominated by lack or negativity, you unconsciously draw more of the same into your life. Conversely, when you focus on gratitude, possibility, and fulfillment, your external circumstances begin to shift in miraculous ways. The outer world is a mirror, and it reflects not what you want, but what you are. If you long for love yet carry the belief that you are unworthy of it, the mirror will reflect relationships filled with distance or heartbreak. If you desire success, but harbor deep doubts about your abilities, the reflection will be missed opportunities and unfulfilled goals. The mirror does not judge, it simply reflects. To change the reflection, you must change the source. The transformation begins with awareness. Most people live on autopilot, unaware of the thoughts and beliefs that dominate their inner world. They react to external circumstances without realizing that these circumstances are often the result of their own mental patterns. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from this cycle. By observing your thoughts without judgment, you begin to see the connection between your inner dialogue and your outer experiences. Once aware, the next step is to consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs you wish to nurture. This requires more than fleeting affirmations. It demands a deep commitment to reprogramming your mind. Visualization is a powerful tool in this process. By vividly imagining the life you desire, as if it were already yours, you impress this image upon your subconscious mind. Over time, the subconscious, which cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, begins to align your actions, emotions, and energy with this vision. The outer world then responds to this shift in alignment. Emotion plays a critical role in this process. Thoughts alone are not enough, they must be charged with the feelings that correspond to the reality you wish to create. If you think of abundance but feel fear or doubt, the emotional charge negates the thought. However, when you think of abundance and feel the joy, freedom, and gratitude that come with it, you create a powerful signal that resonates with the energy of abundance. This resonance attracts circumstances that match it. Doubt and fear often arise as you embark on this journey of transformation. They are remnants of old conditioning, and their presence does not mean you have failed. On the contrary, they are opportunities to reaffirm your commitment to your vision. Instead of resisting these emotions, acknowledge them, understand their origins, and release them with love. In doing so, you create space for new beliefs to take root. The external world is also a teacher, offering feedback on your inner state. Challenges and obstacles are not punishments but mirrors, revealing areas where your inner alignment needs refinement. Instead of viewing difficulties as barriers, see them as opportunities to grow and align more deeply with your desired reality. Each challenge carries a gift if you are willing to look within and learn from it. The power of your inner world is limitless, but it requires consistency. This is not a one-time effort but a daily practice. Just as a garden requires regular care, your mind needs constant tending. Meditate to quiet the noise of the external world. Journal to uncover hidden beliefs. Surround yourself with people, books, and environments that support your growth. These practices help you maintain the clarity and focus needed to shape your outer world intentionally. When you master your inner world, you realize that nothing outside of you has power over you. Circumstances no longer dictate your state of being. Instead, your state of being dictates your circumstances. This realization frees you from the illusion of victimhood and places you firmly in the role of creator. You are no longer at the mercy of life, you are life itself, unfolding in alignment with your vision. The beauty of this truth is its simplicity. You do not need external tools, validation, or approval to change your life. Everything you need is already within you. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you wish to experience, you unlock the infinite potential of creation. Your inner world shapes your outer world, and by mastering this principle, you can create a life that reflects the deepest desires of your heart. In a world that never seems to stop, where every moment is filled with alerts, demands, and distractions, the greatest gift you can give yourself is silence. The external world is a constant stream of noise, voices clamoring for your attention, expectations pulling you in different directions, and the unending barrage of information that keeps your mind perpetually occupied. Amid all this chaos, the truth of who you are, what you desire, and what truly matters gets drowned out. To reclaim your peace and power, you must learn to silence the noise of the external world and turn inward to the stillness where all answers reside. The external world thrives on your attention. Advertisements beg for you to buy, social media buys bees for your validation, and the opinions of others infiltrate your mind. These forces are designed to distract you from yourself, to keep you engaged with everything but your inner truth. The more you chase external noise, the further you drift from the clarity and peace that lie within. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it is the absence of unnecessary influence. In silence, you can finally hear the quiet whisper of your intuition, the voice that is often overshadowed by the chaos around you. This is not to say that the external world is inherently bad. It serves its purpose, offering experiences and lessons that shape your journey. However, when the external becomes your focus, when you allow it to dictate your emotions and decisions, you lose touch with your inner guidance. The noise of the world is loud, but its power over you is an illusion. You have the choice to step back, to disengage, and to listen to something far more profound, the stillness within. Creating silence in a noisy world begins with boundaries. You must protect your energy as you would a precious resource. Not every conversation needs your participation, not every opinion deserves your response, and not every demand requires your attention. By saying no to what does not serve your highest self, you say yes to the space where silence can flourish. This is not selfish, it is necessary. Without boundaries, your mind becomes a battleground for external forces, leaving little room for the calm that nurtures your soul. Silence is also a practice of presence. In a society addicted to speed and productivity, pausing can feel unnatural, even uncomfortable. Yet it is in the pause that life reveals its depth. When you allow yourself to be fully present, you break free from the grip of past regrets and future anxieties. The present moment is the only place where silence truly exists. By grounding yourself in the now, you step into a space where external noise loses its hold, and the beauty of simplicity emerges. Disengaging from the external does not mean isolating yourself or rejecting the world. It means choosing to interact with it on your terms. It means filtering what you allow into your mind and heart. Ask yourself, does this conversation uplift me? Does this news feed inspire me? Does this relationship align with my values? If the answer is no, give yourself permission to step away. Silence is not avoidance, it is discernment. It is the recognition that not everything deserves a place in your sacred inner world. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate silence is through solitude. Time alone is not loneliness, it is a return to self. In solitude, you reconnect with your thoughts and emotions without interference. You begin to understand what truly drives you, what you long for, and what no longer serves you. Solitude is the fertile ground where your dreams take root, free from the distractions that often keep them buried. Meditation is another doorway to silence. In meditation, you train your mind to release the chatter of the external world and find stillness within. At first, the mind may resist, filling the quiet with restless thoughts. But with practice, the noise subsides, and a deeper silence emerges, a silence that is not empty but full of clarity and peace. This silence is where creativity, intuition, and inspiration are born. It is the space where you remember that you are more than your circumstances, more than the noise of the world. Technology, while a powerful tool, is one of the greatest sources of noise in modern life. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and the illusion of connection often leave you feeling more disconnected than ever. To silence this noise, you must take control of your relationship with technology. Set limits on your screen time. Create moments in your day where you disconnect entirely. Use technology intentionally, as a tool to serve your growth, not as a distraction from your inner work. The silence you seek is not something you need to create, it is already within you. The noise of the external world simply obscures it. By stepping away from the distractions and reconnecting with yourself, you uncover the stillness that has always been there. This silence is a source of strength, clarity, and wisdom. It is the foundation upon which you can build a life aligned with your highest vision. In silencing the noise of the external world, you do not lose anything, you gain everything. You gain the ability to hear your own voice, to trust your own path, and to live a life that is true to you. The world will continue to spin, and the noise will persist, but it does not have to consume you. When you choose silence, you reclaim your power. You remember that the external world is but a reflection of your inner state, and in that silence you find the freedom to shape it on your terms. Life offers a choice to be the creator of your experiences or the reactor to your circumstances. Many move through life in a state of reactivity, allowing external events to dictate their emotions, decisions, and overall state of being. In this mode, you become a passenger, carried by the currents of life, often feeling powerless and at the mercy of forces beyond your control. But to become the creator is to take the reins of your destiny. It is to step into the understanding that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the life you live. The difference between the two lies not in what happens to you, but in how you choose to respond and the role you assume in your story. Reacting is easy. It is the default state for most. When something goes wrong, the immediate instinct is to blame the situation, people, or even fate. This reaction often comes from a place of fear, frustration, or lack. It's a conditioned response rooted in the belief that life happens to you rather than through you. Reactivity keeps you tied to external circumstances, perpetually waiting for something or someone to change so you can feel better. This cycle creates a sense of powerlessness, as if you are a bystander in your own life. On the other hand, becoming the creator requires awareness, intention, and responsibility. It begins with recognizing that the world outside is a reflection of the world within. Every thought you hold, every belief you nurture, and every feeling you embody contributes to the reality you experience. This is not to say that you control every event or person in your life, but you do have the power to control how you interpret, respond to, and grow from them. This shift from reaction to creation is transformative. It places you in the role of the artist, painting your life with the colors of your choosing. As a creator, your first tool is your mind. Thoughts are not fleeting, inconsequential things. They are seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Over time, these seeds grow into the experiences and outcomes that define your reality. When you think with intention, focusing on what you desire rather than what you fear, you align your inner world with the outcomes you wish to see in the outer world. It is not enough to simply want something. You must think, feel, and act as though it is already yours. This alignment is what transforms desire into reality. Emotion is the fuel of creation. While thoughts set the direction, emotions provide the energy. To become the creator, you must cultivate emotions that resonate with the reality you want to experience. If you seek joy, practice gratitude. If you seek abundance, feel the freedom and satisfaction that come with having enough. Too often, people wait for circumstances to generate these feelings, but as the creator, you understand that it works the other way around. By embodying the emotions of your desired reality now, you draw that reality closer to you. Becoming the creator also means embracing responsibility. This is not about blame or self-criticism, but about owning your role in shaping your life. Responsibility empowers you because it reminds you that you are never truly stuck. Every moment is an opportunity to choose differently, to think differently, and to act differently. Even in the face of challenges, you retain the power to create meaning, growth, and transformation. As long as you are willing to take ownership, you remain the author of your story. Reacting often stems from fear of losing control, being hurt, or failing. But as the creator, you operate from a place of trust. You trust that your inner alignment will manifest in your external reality. You trust that challenges are not punishments but opportunities to refine your vision and strengthen your resolve. This trust allows you to move through life with confidence and peace, unshaken by temporary setbacks. Action is where creation becomes tangible. Thought and emotion are powerful, but they must be coupled with inspired action to bring your vision to life. The difference between reactive action and creative action lies in intention. Reactive actions are hurried, driven by anxiety or a need to fix. Creative actions are deliberate, guided by clarity and purpose. They are not always grand gestures. Sometimes they are small, consistent steps that, over time, build the reality you envision. Being a creator does not mean controlling every detail of life. There will always be factors beyond your influence. But even in those moments, you have the power to choose your response. You can see obstacles as insurmountable or as stepping stones. You can let disappointment define you or use it as fuel for growth. The Creator sees every experience as part of a greater masterpiece, knowing that even the challenges serve a purpose in the grand design. The journey from reactor to creator is not a one-time decision but a daily practice. It requires mindfulness to catch yourself in moments of reactivity and the courage to choose creation instead. It requires patience, as not every shift will yield immediate results. And it requires faith in the process, trusting that the reality you seek is already taking shape, even if it is not yet visible. To become the creator is to reclaim your power. It is to realize that you are not a victim of life's circumstances, but the architect of your destiny. When you create rather than react, you align yourself with the infinite potential within you. You step into your role as a deliberate, conscious participant in the unfolding of your life. And in doing so, you transform not just your own reality, but the world around you. True transformation begins with a single, profound realization: you must love yourself fully and unconditionally. Without self-love, no amount of external change can bring lasting fulfillment. It is the foundation upon which all growth, healing, and personal evolution are built. When you cultivate self-love, you align with your intrinsic worth and recognize that you are deserving of all the joy, peace, and abundance life has to offer. This love is not born out of arrogance or selfishness, but out of an understanding that you cannot give to others, achieve your goals, or navigate life's challenges unless you first honor yourself. Self-love is the courage to accept yourself as you are in this moment. It means embracing your flaws, imperfections, and past mistakes without judgment. So often people seek transformation because they believe they are broken or unworthy. But transformation does not come from fixing what is broken. It comes from realizing that you were never broken to begin with. You are a work in progress, and every part of you, both the light and the shadow, contributes to the unique being that you are. Self-love allows you to see yourself through a lens of compassion, where you no longer criticize or reject the parts of you that need the most care. To love yourself is to recognize your value, independent of external achievements or validation. Society often teaches us to measure our worth by what we accomplish, how others perceive us, or the roles we fulfill. This creates a cycle of striving, where we are constantly chasing something outside of ourselves to feel good enough. But the truth is, your worth is inherent. It does not fluctuate with success or failure, nor does it depend on the approval of others. Self-love anchors you in this truth, freeing you from the endless pursuit of external validation and allowing you to stand confidently in your own essence. When you love yourself, you set boundaries that protect your well-being. Many people struggle with saying no or prioritizing their needs because they fear disappointing others or being seen as selfish. But self-love reminds you that your time, energy, and emotional health are sacred. By honoring your limits, you teach others how to treat you and create space for what truly matters in your life. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are pathways to healthier, more authentic connections. When you operate from a place of self-love, you no longer sacrifice your peace to please others. Self-love is also the key to healing. Emotional wounds, traumas, and insecurities often linger because we resist confronting them. We bury our pain, hoping it will disappear, but it manifests in other ways through anxiety, anger, or self-sabotage. Loving yourself means having the courage to face these wounds with tenderness and understanding. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and releasing the shame or guilt that weighs you down. Healing is not a linear process, and it requires patience. But when you approach it with self-love, you create an environment where growth and recovery can flourish. Transformation through self-love is not about becoming someone new. It is about uncovering who you already are. Life's experiences, challenges, and conditioning often cause us to lose sight of our true essence. We begin to believe the stories we are told about who we should be, rather than embracing who we truly are. Self-love peels back these layers of doubt and fear, revealing the authentic self that has always been within. This authenticity becomes the foundation for any meaningful change. When you act from a place of self-love, Your choices align with your deepest values and desires, rather than the expectations of others. One of the most powerful aspects of self-love is how it transforms your relationship with failure. Many people fear failure because they equate it with unworthiness. But when you love yourself, failure becomes an opportunity rather than a reflection of your value. You understand that mistakes are simply stepping stones on the path of growth. They do not define you, they refine you. Self-love gives you the resilience to try again, to learn from your experiences, and to keep moving forward, knowing that your worth is never diminished by setbacks. Self-love also expands your capacity to love others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. When you neglect your own needs, your relationships suffer, because you operate from a place of depletion rather than abundance. But when you prioritize self-love, you have more to give. Your love becomes unconditional because it is not rooted in fear, neediness, or insecurity. Instead, it flows freely, unburdened by the expectation that others must fill the gaps in your self-worth. This creates deeper, more fulfilling connections as you are able to give and receive love authentically. Cultivating self-love is a daily practice. It is found in the small, intentional choices you make to honor yourself. It is in the way you speak to yourself, the thoughts you entertain, and the actions you take to nurture your mind, body, and soul. It is in celebrating your successes, no matter how small, and in showing yourself kindness on the days when you stumble. Self-love is not a destination, it is a journey, one that evolves as you grow and change. As you build this foundation of self-love, transformation becomes inevitable. You begin to see yourself not as someone who needs to be fixed, but as someone who is continuously unfolding into their highest potential. You release the need to prove yourself and instead embrace the freedom to simply be. With self-love as your guide, you discover a strength and beauty within that no external circumstance can take away. You become the architect of your own life, creating a reality that reflects the love and respect you have for yourself. And in doing so, you transform not only your own world, but also the lives of those around you. The art of assumption is one of the most powerful tools for transforming your life, yet it remains elusive to many who are caught in the cycle of reacting to their current circumstances. Assumption is not mere wishful thinking, it is a deliberate act of aligning your inner state with the reality you desire, regardless of what the outer world may presently show. Mastering this art is to step into the role of creator, where you shape your experiences through the lens of belief, imagination, and unwavering conviction. At its core, the art of assumption begins with the understanding that reality is fluid and shaped by consciousness. The external world is not fixed, it is a mirror reflecting the dominant thoughts and beliefs held within you. When you assume something to be true, you impress this belief upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious, acting without question or resistance, begins to orchestrate events, people, and circumstances to bring this assumption into being. It does so not because of magical thinking, but because of the alignment between your inner state and the energy you project outward. The first step in mastering assumption is clarity. You must know what you desire with specificity and conviction. Vague wishes yield vague results. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," assume, "I am a successful entrepreneur, thriving in my chosen field." The more vivid and detailed your assumption, the more powerful its impact. Engage all your senses, see, feel, hear, and even taste the reality you wish to experience. This sensory engagement bridges the gap between imagination and belief, making your assumption feel real and attainable. Next comes the act of embodying the assumption. It is not enough to think about your desired outcome, you must live as though it is already yours. This means aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the reality you are assuming. If you assume yourself to be confident, how would you think, speak, and carry yourself? If you assume abundance, how would you approach your finances, relationships, and opportunities? Embodying the assumption creates a resonance within you that draws the corresponding reality into your experience. One of the most challenging aspects of mastering assumption is releasing doubt. The current circumstances of your life may contradict the reality you are seeking to create. These contradictions can provoke skepticism, causing you to waver in your belief. But doubt is the enemy of assumption. It creates resistance that blocks the flow of manifestation. To overcome doubt, focus not on what you see, but on what you know to be true in your mind and heart. The outer world is a delayed reflection. It takes time to catch up with the changes you make internally. Trust the process and remain steadfast in your assumption, even when the evidence is not immediately apparent. Another key to mastering assumption is persistence. Change rarely happens overnight. The mind is a creature of habit, and it often clings to old patterns and beliefs, even when they no longer serve you. Persistence is the act of reaffirming your assumption, day after day, until it becomes the dominant thought in your consciousness. This repetition rewires your subconscious mind, replacing doubt with certainty and fear with faith. Over time, the assumption becomes so ingrained that it feels natural, and when it feels natural, it manifests. The power of assumption is amplified when coupled with emotion. Emotion is the energy that fuels your thoughts and gives them life. To assume a reality without feeling it is like planting a seed without watering it. It cannot grow. When you assume, immerse yourself in the emotions that come with your desired reality. Feel the joy, gratitude, and excitement as though the outcome has already been achieved. This emotional engagement not only reinforces your assumption, but also raises your vibrational state, aligning you with the frequency of your desired reality. A vital component of mastering the art of assumption is detachment. While it may seem contradictory, true assumption requires letting go of the need to control how or when your desire will manifest. Clinging to the outcome creates tension and signals to your subconscious mind that you do not truly believe in the reality you are assuming. Detachment is not indifference, it is a state of trust and surrender. It is the knowing that what you have assumed is already yours, even if the evidence has not yet appeared. The art of assumption also involves self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts and beliefs that dominate your mind throughout the day. Are they aligned with the reality you wish to create, or are they rooted in fear and lack? Assumptions are formed not only through deliberate acts, but also through habitual thinking. By cultivating mindfulness, you can catch and replace limiting assumptions with empowering ones, ensuring that your inner dialogue supports your desired outcome. Ultimately, mastering the art of assumption is about stepping into your power as a creator. It is about recognizing that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances, but are instead the architect of your reality. This power comes with responsibility, as you must choose your assumptions wisely. What you assume consistently, you will inevitably experience. Therefore, assume the best for yourself and for others. Assume success, happiness, health, and abundance, not because you see them in the present moment, but because you know they are yours to claim. The beauty of assumption is that it does not require external validation or permission. It begins and ends within you. When you master this art, you transcend the limitations of the physical world and step into a life of infinite possibilities. You become the conscious creator of your destiny, shaping your world with the power of belief and the certainty of imagination. The year of total commitment to self is a powerful declaration to step into a life that is fully aligned with your deepest desires, needs, and aspirations. It's a commitment to stop living for others' approval, expectations, or validation, and instead place yourself at the center of your own universe. In a world that constantly demands attention from every angle, it's easy to lose sight of your true self. The distractions, pressures, and opinions of others can cloud your judgment and steer you off course. But when you commit to yourself, you break free from the noise and reclaim your power, your purpose, and your peace. Total commitment to self requires a shift in perspective. It means understanding that self-care is not selfish, but necessary for your well-being. To give to others, to pursue your passions, and to show up as your best self in the world, you must first nurture yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and when you neglect your own needs, desires, and boundaries, you create a life of burnout, resentment, and dissatisfaction. This year, commit to filling your cup first. Prioritize your health, your joy, your passions, and your mental clarity. You deserve that, and only when you honor yourself can you fully give to others from a place of abundance. A key element of this commitment is setting boundaries. Boundaries are an act of self-respect and self-love. They are not walls to push people away, but rather guidelines that preserve your energy, time, and emotional health. Too often, we allow others' demands to overshadow our own needs. We say yes when we want to say no. We sacrifice our personal time for obligations that do not align with our values, and we give our energy to people who drain us. Total commitment to self requires learning how to say no, how to protect your time, and how to honor your own needs without guilt. Boundaries may be difficult at first, but they are a sign of strength, not weakness. This year of commitment also calls for a deep dive into self-awareness. It's about taking the time to truly get to know yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, your triggers, and your desires. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth because it helps you understand the patterns and beliefs that have shaped your life. It allows you to question what is serving you and what is not, and gives you the clarity to make conscious decisions about who you want to become. Through journaling, meditation, therapy, or quiet reflection, you can create the space to discover what truly matters to you, what your authentic self needs to thrive, and how you can move forward in a way that honors your true essence. Total commitment to self also involves breaking free from the limitations you've placed on yourself. For too long, many of us have played small, held back by fear, self-doubt, or a sense of inadequacy. We've convinced ourselves that we are not capable, not worthy, or not deserving of the success, love, or happiness we desire. But this year, commit to rewriting the story you tell yourself. Let go of the limiting beliefs that have held you hostage and start believing in your own potential. When you fully commit to yourself, you stop waiting for external circumstances or validation to give you permission to step into your greatness. You trust that you are enough, just as you are, and that you have everything within you to create the life you want. Self-commitment also means embracing your own strengths and weaknesses. It's about giving yourself permission to be imperfect and understanding that growth is a journey, not a destination. Too often, we beat ourselves up for not being where we think we should be, or for not meeting the standards others have set for us. But true commitment to self involves self-compassion. It's the understanding that progress is not linear, and that mistakes, setbacks, and challenges are a natural part of the process. When you commit to yourself, you give yourself grace, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to becoming the person you are meant to be. Another critical aspect of this commitment is nourishing your body and mind. Physical health is an essential part of self-love. In a world that often glorifies hustle and overwork, it's easy to neglect the body that carries you through life. Total commitment to self means making time for regular exercise, nourishing your body with wholesome foods, and getting enough rest. It's about prioritizing your physical well-being as an act of self-respect, knowing that when you feel good in your body, your mind will follow. Mental health is equally important. Taking time for relaxation, seeking therapy when needed, and engaging in activities that bring you peace and joy are crucial to maintaining balance and clarity in your life. This year of total commitment also involves a shift in how you view and nurture your relationships. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your energy and well-being. Commitment to self means being mindful of who you allow into your inner circle. Surround yourself with those who uplift you, inspire you, and encourage your growth. Release relationships that drain you, that hold you back, or that cause you to doubt your worth. Let go of toxic dynamics and create space for connections that honor your authenticity. True commitment to yourself means creating a life that reflects your values, your desires, and your well-being. A year of total commitment to self is about living intentionally. It is easy to get caught up in the rush of life and lose sight of what truly matters. This year, take a step back and ask yourself what you truly want to create. What do you want to experience? What kind of person do you want to become? Living intentionally means making conscious choices each day that align with your vision for your life. It's about taking responsibility for your happiness and understanding that you are the creator of your reality. The year of total commitment to self is an invitation to choose yourself, to honor yourself, and to trust in your own power. It is a commitment to stepping fully into the life you were meant to live. When you make this commitment, everything begins to change. You attract opportunities, relationships, and experiences that align with your highest good. The world around you begins to mirror the love, respect, and care you have for yourself. This is your year to become the fullest expression of who you are, unapologetically and authentically. And in doing so, you create a life that is rich, fulfilling, and entirely your own. In conclusion, the year of total commitment to self is a transformative journey of self-discovery, self-love, and personal empowerment. By dedicating yourself to your own growth, well-being, and happiness, you break free from the external noise that distracts you and reconnect with the truth of who you are. This commitment requires setting boundaries, embracing self-awareness, nourishing your body and mind, and nurturing meaningful relationships. It is a year to step fully into your power, trust in your potential, and create the life you truly desire. As you embark on this journey, remember that total commitment to yourself is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. With every choice you make, you are shaping your reality and reinforcing your worth. You are worthy of every dream, every success, and every moment of peace. Thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect on this powerful commitment. May this year be one of growth, fulfillment, and deep connection with yourself. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that once you realize it, changes everything. It's a simple truth, but one that holds the key to unlocking a life of abundance, peace, and creation. That truth is this: your words are the architects of your reality. Your words are more than just sounds or symbols. They are the very building blocks of the world you experience. Every word you speak, whether in conversation to yourself or in prayer, carries immense creative power. The idea that your word creates your reality is not simply a metaphor. It is a fundamental truth about how the universe operates. When you truly understand this, you will begin to realize that the life you are living is a direct reflection of the words you have spoken, consciously or unconsciously. The moment you speak, you release a vibration into the universe, one that aligns with your internal state. Words are not mere noise, they are frequencies, energy that travels through the air and impacts the world around you. What you speak aligns with your beliefs, your emotions, and your subconscious programming. Every statement you make reinforces the circumstances you find yourself in, whether you realize it or not. When you say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," you are planting seeds of limitation and failure. Those words then find their way into your reality, creating circumstances that reflect that belief. On the other hand, when you speak words of affirmation, belief, and positivity, you begin to create a reality that mirrors those words. When you say, "I am worthy," or "I am successful," you are sowing seeds of empowerment. The universe, which is a mirror of your inner world, begins to reflect these positive affirmations back to you in the form of opportunities, events, and relationships that align with your beliefs. Your words shape your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions shape your actions. This is the creative process, and it all begins with the words you speak. This principle is not limited to words spoken out loud. The words you speak internally have just as much power. What you tell yourself in the quiet of your own mind is just as influential in shaping your life. If you spend your days telling yourself that things are hard, that you can't do it, or that life is unfair, you are reinforcing a mindset of struggle and limitation. If, however, you shift those internal dialogues to ones of gratitude, possibility, and strength, your life will begin to reflect those beliefs. It's essential to recognize that the words you speak do not just shape your immediate environment, but influence the trajectory of your life. The language you use reflects your self-image, your level of self-worth, and your understanding of what is possible for you. If you constantly speak of lack, scarcity, or misfortune, you are solidifying the belief that those things are a permanent part of your life. However, when you speak of abundance, gratitude, and opportunity, you open the door to endless possibilities. When you understand this principle, it becomes clear that one of the most powerful actions you can take is to guard your words. Speak with intention, speak with awareness. Do not let your words slip carelessly out of your mouth, because each one is an imprint on your future. This is why silence becomes so important. There is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. When you speak without thought, you create disharmony. But when you speak with intention, your words become a tool for creation, sculpting the life you desire. You may be wondering, if my words are so powerful, why haven't I seen my desires come to life? The answer lies in the consistency and belief behind your words. You cannot simply repeat a positive affirmation once and expect immediate results. Your words must come from a place of deep belief and inner conviction. It's not just about the words you say, it's about the energy and emotion you attach to them. When your words align with your deepest truths and are spoken with unwavering faith, that's when the universe responds. As you begin to recognize the power of your words, start to speak with purpose. When you speak, do so with the understanding that you are creating your world. Choose words that affirm your worth, that empower your desires, and that reflect the life you want to live. Speak only those things that align with your highest vision for yourself. Know that with every word you speak, you are shaping the reality that unfolds before you. The power of imagination lies in its ability to transcend the limitations of your current reality. When you imagine, you are stepping outside of the constraints of the physical world and tapping into the realm of infinite possibility. The more vividly and consistently you can imagine a desired outcome, the more it impresses your subconscious mind, which in turn begins to shape your external world in alignment with that vision. It's important to understand that imagination is not limited to mere fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a process of aligning your inner world with your outer desires, knowing that what you hold in your mind will eventually materialize in your life. One of the keys to harnessing the power of imagination is to create a clear and compelling vision of what you want. Without a defined image, you are left at the mercy of random thoughts and fleeting desires. But once you know exactly what you want, you can focus your imagination on that outcome with unwavering clarity. This is where many people go wrong. They fail to give their imagination a specific target, leaving their mind to wander aimlessly. The clearer and more focused your imagination becomes, the more easily it can guide your subconscious toward its manifestation. Visualization techniques, affirmations, and mental rehearsals are all tools that help you train your mind to see and feel your desired reality as if it is already here. It's not enough to simply imagine, you must also believe in the power of your imagination. Doubt and disbelief are the greatest enemies of creative imagination. The more you believe that your imagination has the power to shape your world, the stronger it becomes. When you hold the belief that your imagined reality is as real and tangible as the world you see around you, the universe has no choice but to bring it into existence. The key is to align your imagination with your belief system, knowing that what you imagine is not a far-off dream, but a reality waiting to unfold. The act of imagining requires you to go beyond the limitations of the physical senses. It asks you to trust in the unseen and the unknown, to know that the power to create lies within you. Imagination allows you to bypass the limitations of time and space, enabling you to see, feel, and experience the future as if it has already occurred. This is why it is so important to create a mental image of success, of wealth, of health, or whatever it is you desire. By constantly focusing your mind on this vision and holding it with strong emotion and belief, you begin to align your actions and decisions with that vision, and in time, the world reflects it. Imagination is not a passive process, it is an active, creative force. When you engage your imagination in this way, you are sending a clear message to the universe, to your subconscious mind, and to every cell in your body that you are ready to manifest your desires. The more you practice this, the more powerful your imagination becomes, and the more quickly your dreams become your reality. Trust in the power of imagination, for it is the key to unlocking the life you have always desired. It is not just a tool for creating dreams, it is the very means by which those dreams come to life. Seeking validation from others is a natural human tendency, but it is also one of the most limiting behaviors you can engage in. When you rely on the approval or recognition of others to feel worthy or successful, you give away your power. You place your sense of self-worth in the hands of people who may not understand you or who may be unaware of the true value you bring to the world. Seeking external validation only serves to reinforce feelings of insecurity and dependency. It is only by learning to validate yourself that you can unlock your true potential and live a life of true freedom. The truth is that you do not need anyone's approval to be worthy. You are already enough as you are. Your worth is inherent, and it is not determined by the opinions, judgments, or acknowledgments of others. When you place your value on external validation, you are setting yourself up for a never-ending cycle of disappointment and frustration. People will always have different opinions, and no matter how much you seek their approval, there will always be someone who disagrees or fails to acknowledge your efforts. This constant cycle of seeking external validation creates an emotional roller coaster, where your self-esteem rises and falls based on the actions and words of others. When you stop seeking validation, you begin to free yourself from the need for external approval. You realize that your happiness and fulfillment do not depend on whether others affirm your worth. Instead, your confidence and peace come from within. It is through self-validation that you truly find your power. When you validate yourself, you are affirming your own value, regardless of the opinions of others. This shift in mindset is liberating, as it allows you to move through life with a sense of inner peace and confidence, unshaken by external judgments or praise. Self-validation is a process of accepting yourself fully, your strengths, your flaws, your successes, and your failures. It requires that you be honest with yourself about who you are and what you bring to the world. You no longer need to seek permission to be yourself or to follow your dreams. You know deep within that you are worthy of all that you desire simply because you exist. This understanding shifts your focus from seeking approval to creating the life you want, regardless of whether others understand or support you. One of the key steps in stopping the habit of seeking validation is to stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a thief of joy and a powerful force that feeds the need for external approval. When you compare yourself to others, you automatically place yourself in a position where you feel inferior or inadequate. You begin to measure your worth against someone else's achievements or appearance, which is an unfair and inaccurate measure of who you are. Instead, focus on your own journey and celebrate your unique path. Understand that everyone has their own timeline, and your worth is not tied to how you measure up against others. Let go of the need for others to agree with your choices, your beliefs, or your way of doing things. Trust in your own judgment and intuition. You know what is best for you, and when you stop seeking validation, you can make decisions that are aligned with your true self. You can follow your passions, express your creativity, and build a life that reflects your deepest desires without the fear of judgment or rejection. The journey to stop seeking validation is not easy, and it requires a commitment to your own growth and self-awareness. It requires that you become comfortable with being alone, not in a sense of isolation, but in a sense of self-sufficiency. When you validate yourself, you no longer need to seek approval from others to feel complete. You are whole just as you are. As you begin to stop seeking validation from others, you will experience a profound sense of freedom. You will find that you are more authentic, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. Your happiness will no longer be dependent on the opinions of others, and you will feel empowered to create a life that is true to who you are. The power to shape your reality lies within you, and once you stop seeking validation, you will unlock the full potential of your being. The subconscious mind is an incredibly powerful force within you, working tirelessly behind the scenes to shape your reality. It is responsible for everything from the habits you hold to the beliefs you live by, and even the outcomes you experience. Once you learn to harness the power of your subconscious, you can let it do the heavy lifting for you, making your desires a reality with less conscious effort and strain. The key to unlocking this potential is understanding that the subconscious works best when you stop trying to control every detail with your conscious mind and instead allow it to operate naturally, trusting it to create the conditions for your success. The subconscious mind is like a sponge, absorbing every experience, thought, emotion, and belief you encounter throughout your life. Unlike the conscious mind, which is limited in its processing ability and focuses on the present moment, the subconscious is vast and timeless, storing information beyond your immediate awareness. This part of the mind is always working, processing the information you provide, and directing your actions accordingly. Your subconscious mind is not concerned with the how of things, it simply reacts to the thoughts and beliefs you plant in it. When you understand this, you can stop struggling and start allowing your subconscious to bring forth the results you desire. One of the most important steps to letting the subconscious do the work is to shift your focus from conscious effort to belief. When you consciously desire something, you often put a lot of effort into trying to make it happen. You focus on the how, pushing and striving toward an outcome. However, this approach often leads to frustration and burnout because the subconscious mind operates outside of the realm of logic and linear thinking. It works through energy, images, and emotions. The more you focus on the feeling of already having what you desire, the more you align with the subconscious mind's way of working. The key is to create a vivid mental image of your desired outcome, something that excites you and fills you with emotion. By mentally rehearsing the experience as though it has already occurred, you are impressing your subconscious mind with the belief that it is true. The subconscious cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you imagine success, wealth, love, or any other desired outcome with enough emotional intensity, your subconscious begins to believe it is true. Over time, it begins to direct your thoughts, actions, and behaviors in ways that align with that belief, all without the conscious mind having to exert effort. Trusting the subconscious mind means surrendering the how and letting go of the need to control every step. When you stop overthinking and striving, you allow space for the subconscious to operate in its own way. It can work behind the scenes, orchestrating the events and opportunities needed for your desires to manifest. This requires faith and patience, as the subconscious operates on its own timeline. It doesn't need your constant input or your efforts to make things happen. Once you set the intention and align your thoughts and feelings with your desires, the subconscious takes over and does the rest. The beauty of letting the subconscious do the work is that it doesn't require conscious effort. You don't have to push or force anything into existence. Instead, you become a magnet for your desires. As your subconscious begins to align with your inner vision, you will notice opportunities, insights, and inspirations arising in your life. Your actions will feel effortless, and you will find that things begin to unfold in a way that feels natural and harmonious. To make this process even more effective, it's important to be consistent with the thoughts and beliefs you impress upon the subconscious mind. This is where repetition comes into play. When you consistently visualize your desired outcome, affirm your worth, and maintain a positive mental attitude, you reinforce these beliefs within the subconscious. Repetition is key because it strengthens the connection between your conscious desires and the subconscious programming that guides your actions. Another powerful tool for letting the subconscious do the work is affirmation. Affirmations are positive, present tense statements that reinforce your desired reality. Repeating these affirmations daily, especially in a relaxed and focused state, allows the subconscious mind to absorb them deeply, making them part of your mental programming. Over time, these affirmations will become the foundation of your thoughts and actions, leading to natural changes in your life without the need for intense, forced effort. The subconscious mind is your ally in creating the life you desire. When you trust it to do the work, you free yourself from the burden of overthinking and struggling. By focusing on the feeling of already having what you desire, and consistently impressing your subconscious with positive, empowering beliefs, you allow it to work in harmony with the laws of the universe, bringing your desires into physical form effortlessly. Surrendering to this process is not about giving up on your goals. It is about trusting that the subconscious mind is the most powerful tool you have to manifest your desires with grace and ease. Words are powerful, and every word you speak is like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These words, once spoken, begin to grow and shape your reality. Whether they are spoken to yourself or others, they carry energy and meaning that can influence your thoughts, actions, and the world around you. Just as a seed grows into a plant, your words can grow into experiences, relationships, and circumstances. This is why it is essential to protect the words you use, as they have the potential to either nurture or harm the life you are creating. Your words are a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. When you speak, you reveal not only what you think, but also what you believe about yourself and the world. If you constantly speak negatively, you are reinforcing negative beliefs in your subconscious mind, which over time can manifest as negative experiences in your life. On the other hand, when you speak with intention, purpose, and positivity, you plant seeds of possibility, abundance, and growth. Every word you utter is a thought in motion, moving toward manifestation. It is crucial, then, to choose your words carefully and deliberately. The subconscious mind cannot differentiate between positive or negative words, it simply absorbs them. Therefore, when you speak negatively about yourself or others, the subconscious mind takes these words as truth and begins to align your reality with them. For example, if you constantly say, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," these words begin to sink into your subconscious and reinforce feelings of inadequacy or failure. These thoughts then shape your actions, making it harder to take the steps necessary to achieve success or build confidence. In essence, your words are commanding the subconscious to create a reality that matches your beliefs. When you speak affirmations of strength, worthiness, and success, your subconscious mind starts to shift its focus. Words like "I am capable," "I am deserving of all good things," and "I am constantly growing and evolving" plant seeds of empowerment. These affirmations can transform your mindset, leading to actions that are in alignment with the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. The more consistently you use these words, the more they become a part of your identity and your reality. It is important to remember that words are not only about what you say to yourself, but also how you communicate with others. The language you use when speaking to others has just as much power. If you constantly speak with judgment, criticism, or negativity, you not only harm your relationships, but also reinforce a belief in scarcity, division, or limitation. However, when you choose words that are uplifting, kind, and empowering, you foster positive connections and open doors to growth, cooperation, and opportunity. Protecting your words means being mindful of how you speak, both to yourself and to others. It involves taking responsibility for the language you use and ensuring that it reflects the life you want to create. In a world where negativity can easily take hold, it is crucial to be vigilant in choosing words that align with your highest desires. This requires conscious awareness of what you say and a commitment to speaking with purpose and intention. One of the most effective ways to protect your words is by practicing mindfulness. Before you speak, pause and reflect on the impact your words may have. Are they empowering? Are they in alignment with the vision you have for your life? If not, choose different words. By becoming more conscious of your language, you can prevent harmful seeds from being planted in your subconscious and redirect your energy toward the creation of the life you desire. Another powerful way to protect your words is through the practice of gratitude. When you speak from a place of gratitude, you create a positive atmosphere around you. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, and the words that flow from a heart of gratitude are uplifting and expansive. You are not only planting seeds of positivity for yourself, but also for those around you, creating a ripple effect of good energy and possibility. Words also have the power to create and strengthen your inner beliefs. If you want to change your reality, start by changing the language you use. Speak to yourself with love, respect, and compassion. Affirm your worth and your potential. By protecting your words, you are protecting the very foundation upon which your reality is built. In the same way that a gardener tends to their plants by carefully nurturing them and keeping them free from weeds, you must tend to the words you speak, ensuring they are aligned with your highest aspirations. Remember, every word you speak is a seed that will grow and take root in your life. So choose your words wisely, for they are the building blocks of the life you are creating. Silence holds a profound power that most people overlook. In a world that is constantly buzzing with noise, distractions, and the pressure to speak, silence can seem uncomfortable or even unnatural. Yet within this silence lies the gateway to true power over your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. It is in moments of quiet reflection that you can access the deepest wisdom within you, connect with your true self, and align with the higher forces at work in the universe. Embracing silence is not about avoiding communication or retreating from the world. It is about recognizing the power that resides in stillness and learning to use it to create the life you desire. When you choose silence, you give yourself the space to listen to your inner voice, to your intuition, and to the subtle messages of the universe. In the silence, the noise of the external world fades away, allowing you to tune into the deeper currents of your being. You can hear the whispers of your intuition, guiding you in the right direction, helping you make decisions that align with your highest good. The more you cultivate silence in your life, the clearer these messages become, and the more powerful your decisions and actions will be. Silence also allows you to step away from the constant need for validation or approval from others. In a society where external opinions often shape our sense of self-worth, silence is a reminder that your power comes from within. When you stop speaking for the sake of being heard or seeking approval, you reclaim your authority and self-confidence. You no longer need to seek validation outside of yourself, because you understand that true power is rooted in your own sense of inner knowing. This self-assurance allows you to move through life with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the distractions or judgments of others. Another aspect of silence is its ability to calm the mind. The mind, when left unchecked, can become a whirlwind of thoughts, worries, and fears. These mental distractions can cloud your judgment, limit your potential, and create unnecessary stress. But in silence, the mind can quiet itself, creating a space of peace and clarity. When you are able to sit in silence, you create an environment in which your thoughts can settle, allowing you to access the wisdom that resides beyond the surface level of your consciousness. In this space of stillness, you can make decisions with a sense of calm, clarity, and confidence. The power of silence extends beyond the mental and emotional realms. It also has the ability to influence the physical world around you. When you speak with intention and choose your words carefully, they carry a force that ripples through your reality. But when you embrace silence, you allow the energy of the universe to align with your desires without interference. Silence does not mean passivity, it is a powerful form of receptivity. In silence, you are allowing space for your manifestations to come into being, trusting that the universe is already working on your behalf. This trust in the process gives you the ability to let go of control and surrender to the flow of life, knowing that everything you need will come to you in perfect timing. Furthermore, silence allows you to cultivate deep inner peace. In the quiet moments, you can release the tension of the day, let go of past hurts, and free yourself from the anxieties of the future. By sitting in silence, you create a sanctuary for your soul, a space where you can reconnect with your inner sense of peace and calm. This peace becomes your foundation, and no matter what external circumstances arise, you remain centered and grounded. From this place of peace, you can take inspired action and navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. Silence is also an invitation to connect with something greater than yourself. In stillness, you can tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe, allowing you to see the bigger picture and gain perspective on your life. It is in these quiet moments that you realize you are not separate from the world around you. You are connected to it in a profound way. By aligning with this universal energy, you open yourself to new possibilities and experiences that you may not have seen before. Silence then becomes a bridge to higher consciousness, offering a direct connection to the divine and the forces that guide your journey. True power is not about force or aggression, it is about stillness, presence, and alignment. When you embrace silence, you stop trying to control every situation, and instead, you trust in the power of the universe and your ability to navigate life with wisdom and grace. Silence is the gateway to true power, because it is in these moments of quiet that you reconnect with your inner strength, tap into the wisdom of the universe, and align with your highest purpose. By embracing silence, you invite peace, clarity, and empowerment into your life, and you unlock the infinite potential that resides within you. In conclusion, silence is not merely the absence of sound, but a powerful tool that can unlock your true potential. By embracing silence, you create space for inner wisdom, clarity, and peace. It is through moments of stillness that you reconnect with your deeper self, gain the confidence to trust your intuition, and align with the flow of the universe. Silence empowers you to step away from external validation and mental clutter, allowing you to live with purpose, power, and authenticity. Remember, the quiet moments in your life are not moments of weakness, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on the power of silence and how it can shape your life. May you continue to find peace in stillness and harness the transformative power it offers.